once again for our viewers, hello, welcome. This is Angel. Maybe you want to introduce her again for those who just came.
Yeah, so this Angel, and she used to be a president of NBC, and she's currently in Mind Valley as an advertising specialist. But I think Angel, can you introduce yourself a bit more for the viewers who are unfamiliar with you?
A bit background about uni is that I did Bachelor of Business and Commerce, majoring in Marketing Strategic. After that, I was very active in uni, so not only in Monash Business Club, but I did a lot of outside organization stuff as well. And after moving forward from there, I joined Mind Valley. So Mind Valley is one of the top educational company where our mission is to definitely transform humans' life with education, not just in academics, but also soft skills and so on and so forth.
Wow. That is a mouthful, but just a perfect representation of what you do the past few years. That's so awesome. All right, I think we can go straight into before we get into the main part of the podcast. I think Angel, we just want to know about you a little bit more and have the viewers know you a bit.
So we have a few trivia questions on hand. So first up,
is it your dying questions you guys had for me since subcon?
Yeah. So Angel, this one's the most important question of them all. Number one, what's your favorite food around Monash?
Oh. It's not in Monash, but I'll definitely crave for either garlic chicken rice or the tom yum soup at Rock Cafe.
Oh, nice. I like how it's not even in Monash. I think Monashans, we can relate. Yeah.
Monash food has changed since I first joined.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Did you manage to try eat around the new cafeteria?
I think they changed even after I graduated. So before I left, there was the new canteen all set up. I think they might have changed the people as well, right? From the first time it was launched.
Yeah. There was some renovations going on.
Yeah. Do you like it?
At that time, at least that first batch of new people, it was pretty pricey, not the best.
True, that's so true.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question. What's the best movie that you've ever watched?
Yesterday, Tenet. It was so good.
Oh, I just watched it too.
Highly recommend it. My mind was blown. I was like, really good movie.
Did you get the movie the first time?
Yes.
Or did you have to go home and do some research?
No. I went you have to go in and focus completely. If you don't focus, even if you go to the toilet and come back in, you'll be lost. So don't go to the toilet, guys. Pee before entering the cinema.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question. Are you more of a YouTube person or a Netflix person?
YouTube.
Why?
Without a doubt. I like the creativity and the representation, at least growing up Asian. I feel like with all the Asian American community trying to define Asian in America, there is a linkage there. So I felt relatable growing up watching Wong Fu, Calf Jumper, and etc.
Yeah. And Nigahiga, right?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. All those old school people.
Yeah. Okay, I think just maybe one last question that we can do.
Sure.
Angel, I mean, I personally follow you on Instagram, and if you guys don't even know, you should definitely give her a follow. But I know that you have a dog, right?
Charlie, yes, I do.
Yeah. So can you maybe tell us a little bit, how you guys met and how did
how I met Charlie?
Yeah.
It was I remember exactly. It was after my first my first finals in uni. So I had marketing and management back to back. So one in marketing in the morning, management in the afternoon. Last day of finals, I went to my best friend's house because Charlie was previously owned by my best friend, so I adopted him from there. So that's how the whole journey of Charlie and I began.
And how long have you guys
be together? My little brother, since I adopted my little brother, it's been 4 years.
Wow.
We're still talking about a dog, right?
Yes. My dog is my little brother, Daniel.
Preach, preach.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we all got a chance to know a bit more about Angel. So maybe one last question before we transition into our main topic for the day.
Sure.
As a kid, what did you aspire to be when you grow up?
Oof. That changes, but I knew for a strong, like solid few years was definitely being like a primary school teacher.
Mm.
Yeah, so that was what I wanted to be when I was younger.
Okay. Is there any reason, like, what about it kind of interested you?
I love kids, even though I'm fierce in like clubs and society, but I love kids. Like if you put a baby near me, I'll just be like, oh my God. So kids are adorable. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, I get that. Okay then. Well, I mean, just now you were mentioning that you have a bachelor's in business, and you major in marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess, well, to start it off, right? Well, especially for those who are our first year students who are interested in marketing, what are some advantages that you can get from having this major?
As in from this major going into marketing or just marketing in general?
Maybe in general, like just
Okay.
studying marketing.
I guess for me, let's talk about marketing going into a marketing field. The advantage of that would definitely be having a deeper understanding. So for a lot of people can say that it's very easy or if you can come from any degree, you can join marketing. Yes, that's true. But coming out from a marketing major, you have an advantage because you have a deeper understanding. And then from there, when you do research about your industry, prepping for interviews and stuff like that, it's easier for you to relate. And especially in Monash, for our final year unit, you actually put through this marketing consultation kind of competition/unit. So that really train you because you actually have legit clients where you have to help innovate their whole entire marketing scheme and help them reach their goal within a few years.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so do you have any advice for students who are kind of unsure or hesitant in taking a major for their degree?
Hesitant, I'll probably definitely say go with something where you can join any other fields in general. So maybe the basic would be maybe accounting and finance or maybe even business analytics. But that also goes down to you may be unsure, but if you force yourself and struggle with those units, I would say better not. If you are if you don't like accounting and finance, but you're still unsure and you force yourself to take accounting and finance, you're just gonna have a miserable uni life. So I would then say go into either management, marketing, whatever you feel like you excel in more. So just follow your guts because there's never a right or wrong one.
Right. Do you think there's a chance for, I guess, these students who are, kind of like when they're unsure about it or they like they're not confident in their skill in, for example, like marketing or business analytics, do you think it's something they should take the risk if they're still interested but not good in it?
If they're truly interested, I believe passion will drive you forward. So if you can learn, sure, of course, but then how far can you go with just learning if you don't like the subject? But if you have the passion for it, even no matter how difficult it is, you will be determined to excel.
So you heard it here, folks. Follow what you're passionate about.
Inspiring. Awesome.
Yeah, so as you all know, you used to be the president for MBC. So can you tell us a bit about why joining a club, like joining clubs and societies, is important during our uni life?
Why is it important? I wouldn't say it's exactly like a top priority, but it's beneficial. So there is also other ways where students can expose themselves joining competition and stuff like that. It's just for like us who are in the in MBC, we decided to join the club. And what I gained from joining MBC is definitely soft skills, event planning, and just managing a lot of stakeholders. Because when you're organizing all these events, we're not only managing our customers, like the members, but we're also managing the school board, the people that we have to communicate with. And to a lot of them, we might look like kids. So it's how do we show them that we are responsible and be like saying, hey, like what I'm doing is legit stuff. Like trust in me and let me run my stuff. Like us running bazaar and everything, it was quite big events. Yeah.
Right. So do you think, I mean, because you were saying clubs are not that it's not important, but there are ways that you can develop this kind of like skills and confidence, right? But you say the stakeholders and your clients and even your bosses. So, like, what are some things like? Can you talk about that a little bit more? Like you mentioned competitions, for example. Like, is there anything else in specific that you could explore into?
Yes, there is. There's actually a lot of business competitions that people can go into. I myself just opt not to. But then, to tell you the truth, the 2 HSBC trophies that is won by Monash, like one for Monash, is actually by my siblings. So there is HSBC competitions. There is, I think Standard and Chartered, CIMB Business Challenges, PNG, and many more, where people actually can go. It's a few days boot camp kind of thing. But then it's also a business challenge competition where they are given a lot of case study or even have to like sell a product, package the whole thing, and then pitch to like CEO and stuff in the company.
Woo! Sounds kind of insane. Oh,
it's good. It's a very good learning curve. You won't sleep for 3 days.
Wow, that does not sound like the uni life. But yes, I definitely understand that, and I think maybe now we're just gonna move a little bit away from uni into your post graduation.
Yeah. So do you have any tips for workforce preparation before graduation?
Before graduation, definitely start prepping on your CV. If you take BEW, like the videos or whatever, take it seriously because it eventually, like one of the assignment is definitely prepping a video resume. So take all those seriously because some companies really might ask you for a video resume. Like my company at Mind Valley, they got me to do a video resume. So all those actually prep you for uni. And also prep your CV, talk to the career department at uni and ask them to run through your CV, see where you can improve and so on and so forth. Or even talk to your BEW teacher and see where you can improve and stuff like that.
I really like that, like you mentioned, taking our unit seriously and reaching out to like, I guess the people in Monash can help us with our CV. I think just expounding on that a little bit. Have you, maybe looking back now or even back then, right? Did you ever look for any sort of assistance or support from Monash, like in your career planning or job hunting? And like, if you did, like talk about it a little bit.
I definitely did. To both of you, you might be surprised, but before I graduate, I was completely lost. I was like, seriously, I was completely lost. I was
are you guys viewers listening on this? Hello?
I was completely, I looked put together, but deep down I was completely lost. I was actually crying about it. So I was quite close because of NBC. I was quite close to a lot of the admins. A lot of them actually connected me to different companies and also like just helping me prep for my CV and giving me feedback.
Wow.
So not only the career department, but like Suzanne and other people from the admin team actually helped me look through and then see where I can improve. So definitely talk to uni. Our uni, the staff is a very good support system. Yeah.
Wow, can we get a hashtag Monash for that?
Yeah, so based on hearing what you said so far, I can tell that you're pretty passionate in the field of marketing, and it shows in your workforce. Like now you're working as an advertising specialist. But do you have any advice for the students that actually are not passionate in the major that they are currently doing?
Not passionate in the major that they're currently doing. Honestly, to tell you the truth, a lot of companies at the end of the day, they don't really look at your grades as much. Still score good grades because it helps put you apart from other people, but grades are not everything. So I don't want you guys to be like, after this, like, oh, fuck my grade. I don't need to care about my grades. No, still care for your grades because you still need that grade to help you stand apart from other people. Then after that, to answer your question, if you're not truly passionate for what you're doing, one, either if you're not in a hurry to graduate, maybe considering changing a whole entire different degree. So like in Monash, if you can afford it, of course. But Monash, there is a whole different degrees as well. There's arts, there's science, and etc. So that could be another option. Or another thing is if you're so far into your degree, at your free time, explore other things. You can teach yourself you can teach yourself how to code and so on and so forth. So basically just use your time wisely. Don't simply just say, oh, I hate my degree, I'm not gonna give a shit. Your life is at your own hand, so you control it.
You cannot skip the assignment on Friday. Okay. You mentioned like grades does separate you, but you still need to like have all these skills that comes from. For example, you mentioned like coding, right? Can you just talk about it a little bit more, like especially for for people that are screening to like the applications coming in, especially when companies are so stringent on their selections for because of COVID, obviously. Like maybe just this three or even just two or one things that student you think we should, or not we, but yeah, our viewers should focus on, you know, whether it's interpersonal skills, you know, anything like that, like yeah.
I feel skills definitely don't just pay attention at books. Definitely join clubs, join competitions and stuff like that, where you learn how to work with teammates, create a lot of events, and also not only that, you create a lot of like true friendship and memories. But more when I say true friendship and memories, it's a very good support system where you need to go through with whatever that is going on right now. Because finding a job is honestly not easy, especially with this time where everyone is. So having a good support system will get you through this struggle a bit better. And then in terms of skills, it's definitely whatever you learn from clubs and society and competition. When you write your CV, don't just say, oh, I'm a winner of HSBC or I'm blah, blah, blah. No, that's not what employees are looking for. They are looking for what you did, what you learned. So in BEW, you will learn how to write your CV in CARD. So context, action, results. So always write each of your point in your CV in these 3 points. It can be positioned differently. It can be RAC or ACR, but always have these 3 points. So your employers will get to know what you can contribute to their team. So a lot of people can just say, oh, I'm a student ambassador, or oh, I'm a first honor student. But then what is it? How do you become a first honor student? How do you become a student ambassador? That's what they want to see.
Yeah, so I think that for graduates, right, the biggest problem for them is finding a job after graduation. So I want to ask you, how long did it take you to actually get this job?
I was fortunate enough within 1 month.
Oh, that's really fast.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's really fast.
Within 1 month. Yeah.
Of course, did you hear the things Angel did?
No.
Okay, well, I mean, now that you're in Mind Valley, right? How long have you worked in Mind Valley, by the way?
About 1 year right now.
1 year,
Just
right?
reached my 1 year.
Quite considerable time. What do you feel about, I guess, work life in general now? What's that been like for you?
To give you guys a bit more context about Mind Valley and how it's really different for other Malaysian corporates, is that Mind Valley, my CEO actually founded it in America. And 80% of my colleagues are actually international. So with that being said, the structure of how it is definitely really different than normal Malaysian owned company. So sometimes it feels more like uni because everyone's just so chill. So for me personally, working in Mind Valley, I definitely truly enjoy it. But work-life balance in terms of that is definitely a struggle. But you have to learn, because one thing I realized for me in uni is that I never checked out from work. Before I sleep, I'll always think about assignment or like MBC plans or like stuff like that. And then when I wake up, that's the first thing I do as well. So that's a mistake that I felt like I brought forward to work, and that will burn you out even quicker. So definitely learning to check out when it's off work time or even off uni time, like no more uni work, check out and don't think about it. So in terms of work-life balance, it's doing pretty good right now.
I think that's a really amazing personal growth that you've found for yourself in such a short time. That's really awesome. And luckily our viewers have the benefit of doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes like when I was scrolling through Facebook, I will come across like Mind Valley videos that talk about personal development and self-help. Yeah, so I want to ask you about the corporate culture there. Like, do they really like push you to be better? Yeah.
Yeah. So, my manager constantly pushed me. So, honestly saying, I didn't know anything about advertising because advertising, what I do, I'm actually a media buyer. And media buyer, or there is no unit related to media buying in uni. So I basically start everything from scratch. And since I first joined until now, my manager has pushed me and gave me a lot of projects. Like even right now, I'm one of the head for product launches. So like Mind Valley really pushes all their employees to their full capacity.
Cool. Is this is this what you expected? I guess coming into your first job,
Mind Valley.
and I guess Mind Valley also specifically.
Okay, one thing I noticed for at least for us youngsters is that we always have this high expectation for like work and making an impact.
Surely.
But
yeah.
then we would, a lot of us, when we enter the workforce, we realize that that impact can't happen, or like there is a there's a mismatch between the expectation and reality. So, I guess for a lot of people, for me, for example, for Mind Valley, it definitely meet all my criteria because I chose Mind Valley for passion. Because I believe in the mission of what they were doing for. So it meets my expectation. But if a lot for other people, if they want to make impact, they need to define what is impact. What is that one thing that they want to change? Is it making their manager's life easier? Or is it growing their own financial savings or etc. What impact are you looking for? That is the one thing that you need to meet in your expectation. If that doesn't, if you don't define the impact, when you go into the workforce, you'll be like, this is not working, shit, I want to quit.
So, sorry, I just have a small question for that. Do you think then, like, you know, we have to manage, oh, not like, yeah, they have to, people should manage the expectations a little bit, you know, for their first working life kind of thing? Is it,
I
because
don't
it
know.
kind of sounds like a yes, like.
I don't know about you guys, but last time when I was in uni, I was very picky when it's coming to internship. Because I was like, oh, I'm from Monash, I don't want to do all this paperwork stuff. I actually want to learn of how the corporate stuff is. You get what I mean? So from like, to tell you the truth, I didn't do any internship. But like from all of this experience, I realized that even though you're from Monash, you only know the theory stuff. You don't know the practical stuff. So even though you come from a well-known school, it doesn't matter, your colleague could become from like a different kind of school or maybe lower ranking whatsoever. You're both on the same level. It's more like you need to manage your expectation of, hey, I'm coming in, yes, I have my foundation, I have my theory, but I lack in practical and I'm completely fresh. But your first few days or your first 1 month, you might not do so many stuff in your work because you're learning. So that's where I feel a lot of fresh grads have to manage their expectation, is that the first few months is where they're learning and they won't do as much, or the work might not be as exciting because they're learning.
So Angel, time to dive into the deep questions now.
Okay.
So during your time in Mind Valley, what's the biggest challenge that you actually face? And also, can you share how did you manage to overcome it?
Miscommunication. It was really, really bad. Because once again, my company is international, 80% of them are foreigners. So I had a miscom with one of my colleague from the Philippines. So it was just really bad. Like there was tension and stuff like that. I noticed that because when we first communicated, it was only through online, like Slack. That's the messenger that we were using from. So the way that she messaged me back, there was always tension, because like how I would talk to you guys or how I talk to any other Malaysian, she might have interpreted as rude. So then I sent that tension. I went and like talked to her in person and all that, and then she was like, yeah, I felt like some of the things that you were saying was rude and blah 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 and stuff like that. From that I realized losing the Malaysian English is the best thing ever. And then start using like proper English when you're talking to people. So like always over communicate. Never just assume the other person will know what you're doing. always just over communicate every single thing.
Right. Okay. We're gonna go into Q&A, but I mean, we've heard so many good things already. Thanks so much, Angel.
No worries.
One of the first questions that we got before the podcast was, is it necessary to get a master's degree in marketing?
Truly depends on where you want to head to, but I personally am not. I didn't do any masters in marketing, and also my CMO is not. My previous CMO is not even from a marketing line, so I don't think it's necessary. But if you want to, why not?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So another question we got. Yeah, this one is, after graduating, is it okay to find a job outside of your field of study?
It might be harder, but why not? If you really don't like what you did for your degree, you can definitely explore other options. But do bear in mind, you definitely have to educate yourself in that industry. So let's just say for us, like, let's just say I went into marketing and I decided, oh, I didn't like marketing in uni and I suddenly want to go into IT. I definitely had to teach myself a little bit of coding before actually applying for the jobs, because all IT jobs, you need to understand coding. So definitely educate yourself first.
Right. Preparation can come a long way, right?
Yep, definitely.
Thick. Okay, this question we got to this person, sorry, because we were a bit confused by the question. But we think it's asking like, what are job opportunities for students who have a master's in professional accounting? It's a very specific question. Would you know any job opportunities?
I would say maybe accountancy.
Makes
If
sense.
accountancy is not what you want to go into, then maybe you can try exploring marketing or stuff that is easier to get into. Like, but then once again, educate yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So did you come into uni knowing exactly what you wanted to pursue, or did it like kind of change?
It switched. So I have siblings who both graduated with accounting and finance, and I entered with the mindset of, oh, I want to be accounting and finance major too. But after first year, I was like, nope, accounting and finance was not my thing. So I kept my option open and I decided to do marketing.
Okay, another question we got. How do you identify what kind of position you want to go for in a company as a fresh grad? Or is it more like you're only allowed to pick which department that you're interested in? So
When you say position, do you mean by the level? Does the person mean by the level of the position or just the role?
Looking at the context of the question, it looks like the role, not level.
Okay. For example, for marketing, right? Marketing is so broad. So I kept my option open. So like, especially when you're all a fresh grad, you can't actually be truly certain of what you like. Because for example, if you did accounting, you might say, oh, auditing might be your thing. But then when you enter into audit, you might not actually like it. So I'll say actually try to diverse your application to see what you have and then to see what to go into, or also talk to a lot of the people in the industry. So like, for example, I'm an advertising specialist, and if any one of you are interested in like media buying, reach out to me, for example, and ask more and inquire more of the industry before actually deciding.
Wow, it's so generous.
So we actually have quite a few questions, but some of them I think we already like answered them during the podcast.
Okay.
But a good one is like, do you have any advice in preparing for a job interview?
Over prepare.
Over prepare.
Over prepare. Read up with your company, know your company at the back of your hands, their mission, their goals, everything, the name of your CEO and everything. Like, even if you can find out how it started, do that. And if your HR actually do message you about who's interviewing you, I would say maybe try to understand your interviewer a bit more, like to see like what kind of people they are hiring and see if you're actually like match their criteria and stuff like that. over prepare and prepare questions to ask them. Like, don't just go there and say, oh, what's my salary? I think that's a turn off for a lot of employers. It's more like, I personally would take it as an opportunity to learn from them, even though if I don't get the job. So I would ask them, oh, if I don't get this job, or what should I expect? Or like, what would be my first 30 days be like if I joined the company? Or what would your advice be for yourself? Like, I asked the interviewer, what would the advice they tell their younger selves applying for jobs and stuff like that? Learn from their experience.
Sweet. Before we go on, just want to make a little announcement for our viewers who have asked questions in the comments. We hope we didn't miss it, but if we did, you can just, let us know, like, if we missed it lah. But we should have not missed it lah. Yeah. I actually have a question for you,
Okay.
Angel. It's a bit personal, so you don't have to answer it. But have you been rejected by any of the places that you've applied for? And if you did, how did you cope with it, or like, did you learn anything from that experience?
I didn't apply for a lot of jobs, so I got my value within 1 month, so I didn't look for a lot.
Right.
But I guess, let's just say if you go interview, right? Jot down all your notes, like whatever you have all your questions. Like, even right now, I actually have a notebook for whatever question you guys ask me that I have to think. So jot down all your questions and all those. So even after your interview, if it went well or if it's bad, reflect back and realize, okay, what do you think it went well? Like, also try to remember the interviewer's expression, so you can tell, okay, if what you say is what to their liking or not, or maybe, like, once again, it could be a Malaysian thing where you might come off rude, but you're actually not being rude. So take note of all of that. Yeah.
Okay, we are a bit short of time, so we've only 2 more minutes. Maybe just 2 more questions.
Anyone else have any more questions? Maybe just 1 or 2 more.
Yeah. If not, maybe we can end it off with this question. Yeah, we want to keep it talking. There's been so much to say. Sorry.
No worries. You're good.
For people that are just perhaps entering into Monash soon, right? Would you what would be like your, let's say, like, your speech to them, or what would be your speech to them, I suppose, as they just enter Monash?
I would say advice rather than speech.
Sure.
What would be my advice to them? Definitely explore everything that you can from Monash, because if you're just going there just to study, you're actually missing out on a lot. So not only joining clubs in society, also find ways where you can even become a student ambassador. So I was also a student ambassador. I work very closely with the admins. I learned a lot from them. So just expose yourself to a lot of opportunities that Monash has to offer. Don't just go there for classes. Like, you're only in uni, there's only 3 years of uni. Go enjoy it to the fullest.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that about wraps it up for our podcast. So Angel, we really want to thank you, and we really appreciate you taking out your time.
No worries.
Yeah, and
no worries.
I think even for myself personally, I've actually gained so much insight. So for viewers, like, from really, really, like, applicable, like, advice, such as, how to prepare, and how to, like, from reading the expressions of the interviewers to, like, personal development. I think there's so much gold nuggets here. And again, thank you so much for borrowing your
no
time.
No worries.
And it was super good. You made our time really easy too, as hosts. Yeah.
Just make NBC great. Just make NBC great. I passed on all the tasks to you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much, Angel. You have a lovely
All right.
night.
You guys too. Bye.